St. Francis of Assisi spoke a number of times throughout the writings. He spoke about holy newness. A holy newness. He embraced that. He had felt that in his own life through his conversion and wanted to see that holy newness played out more and more among his brothers in the community, and wanted to stretch into the world a holy newness. The prophet Isaiah in the first reading is speaking of a holy newness to the people of Israel who have been captive in Babylon, modern-day Iraq. And they are thrilled because his message is that God is doing holy newness for you. The things of the past were good. He even alludes to the Passover, opening up the Red Sea, but he said, put the past behind you. God has a new thing coming for us. Rivers in the wilderness, water in the wasteland. God is making a way for us to go home, back to Israel. That had to be such good news for a people who had been enslaved. And then we hear Paul in the second reading talk about the holy newness in his life. He was a law-abiding Pharisee. He was a Roman citizen, a Jew. He was everything you'd want to be, pious and law-abiding. But once Jesus Christ grabbed his heart, that was rubbish. Dung. Can't say the other word. It was just dung. It stank. It wasn't worth anything now that he had taken possession, or more truly, Christ had taken possession of him. He was living a holy newness. And Jesus certainly was introducing a holy newness. Scribes and Pharisees, they would be such easy targets for throwing stones, But he's going to say something about that at the end. Don't do it. But those scribes and Pharisees, their world is being shaken by this holy newness. They don't want it. They don't like it. It's disturbing their status quo religion. What Jesus has been teaching and doing is not to their liking. They bring before Jesus a woman who has been caught in adultery. They want to test him. They want to trap him into either say, yes, we need to follow the law of Moses, or, and if he does that, then it sort of obliterates all that he's been teaching. But if he says, no, it's a world of mercy, then he is sort of discarding the law. They thought they had him. What was that law? In the book of Leviticus, it says, if a man commits adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and the adulteress should be killed. In Deuteronomy it says, if a man is caught having relations with his neighbor's wife, who is married to another man, both the adulterer, both the man and the woman, shall be put to death. Now you notice, in all of these, there's a man and a woman. Takes two. But the Pharisees and scribes have brought just this woman. Not because they intend to stone her. They can't. Roman rule won't let the Jews put anybody to death. But they bring her to Jesus trying to trap him. And of course we know how he just bends down, kind of doodles. Now they're getting nervous. Like, what's he doing? Is he going to answer? Maybe they're starting to feel a little uneasy about what they've done here. And they press him for an answer, so he stands up. All right, let the one among you who has no sin, cast the first stone at her. And he bends down again. I kind of imagine him drawing those smiley faces. I got him. And one by one, they drift away, leaving him that moment with this woman standing before him. Where are they? Is there no one here to condemn? Can you imagine the tremor in her voice? No one, sir. No one. No one. Neither do I condemn you. But go now and sin no more. That kind of mercy is a holy, holy newness coming onto the scene. Rejected by some, but those who are open can embrace such a thing. Holy newness began for our local church on Thursday with the installation of our new Archbishop. A new moment, a new light, a new beginning for the Church of Cincinnati. I know some of you watched it on TV or maybe saw clips of it. At the end of the Mass, though, Archbishop Casey said, I'm not going to thank everybody. He held up the program and he said, Cardinal Sukic told me, never try to thank everybody because you're going to leave somebody out. He said, read the program. But he said, there are three people I want to thank. And he began to choke. And he said, the first is Jesus. He gave a short testimony that Jesus has been part of his life since he was very young. And to know that that's true for him, it is a holy newness. The second person was Mary. Throughout his life again, he has found such strength and accompaniment and inspiration from Mary, the mother of Jesus. And then he thanked Pope Francis. Now, Pope Francis is going to feel pretty good. Jesus, Mary, and me. But he does tell us something about the new Archbishop, what he treasures and what he believes. Francis, who is also about holy newness in almost everything he has done for the past 12 years. And again, some have not responded too much to that holy newness, haven't embraced it. Those who want everything to stay the same don't want Francis or others rocking the boat. But that too is a holy newness that Archbishop Casey embraces. So there's a new moment for us, I believe, here in the church. There's sometimes unholy newness that some of us experience at the same time. The chaos that is taking place in our country right now by one executive action after another seems an unholy newness to me. The suffering and the disregard for people's rights and so many things that seem wrong. But it was another moment of some holy newness yesterday when around the country people gathered to stand and speak in behalf of our love for our country, our love for all the citizens of our country, our love for those who have immigrated to our country. People stood up all around the country. A couple thousand were standing in Washington Park. It was something of a holy newness. There weren't too many stones being thrown either. There were some signs that it's like, I wouldn't want to stand by that sign. Some people expressed anger, but for the most part, people peacefully were pleading for our country and for all our fellow citizens. It was a good moment. It was a good moment. And not trying to throw stones at the president or Elon Musk or anybody else, but at the same time to challenge and to try to come with our truth to what we believe needs to happen in our nation. Ultimately, we don't want to throw stones. That would be so easy. But what Jesus says in the gospel today is said not just to those scribes and Pharisees, it's said to all of us. Sure, throw the stone if you are one of those people without sin. And no one stayed around with that invitation. And we too have to learn from the gospel that we too are not to be hurling stones or hurling angry words or all of that at anyone. And yet we find it within ourselves a way to embrace what's holy and what's good. So that we stand on the precipice of a new moment, I think, in our Archdiocese of Cincinnati. We can expect some goodness to flow from this. But it needs to also be something that we embrace, that, like Paul, we put behind us some of the unnecessary. And the more we can embrace the Jesus Christ, the more we can embrace Him, His Word, and what He instructs us to do, the more we too are going to live in this moment. The Lord has done great things for us. We are filled with gladness and joy.